I'd like to now call this meeting to order for Monday, April 15th, 2024, Tax Day, Village of Deerfield Board of Trustees meeting. Roll call, please.
Mayor Shapiro.
Here.
Trustee Benton.
Here.
Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Goldstone.
Here.
Trustee Jacoby.
Here.
Trustee Metz-Childers.
Here.
And Trustee Oppenheim.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We have a beautiful looking crowd here. I think most of you are from Rochelle Zell Jewish High School, and I would ask that you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So, thank you for leading us in the pledge. This is the 10th consecutive year. I mean, that's a decade. Unbelievable that you guys have achieved a wonderful accomplishment, and we're so proud of you. We did a quick search. I'm going to have you guys come up and introduce yourselves in just 1 second. We did a quick search to see if there were any teams, sports teams or college teams, that have won 10 championships in a row. And we found none. The closest was in the 1950s and 60s, I think, the Boston Celtics. But you guys passed them up 2 years ago. So congratulations. Please, all of you, please come forward, and especially your co-presidents, Adi Hazen and Ryan Jankelowitz. Please, guys, come up. We only have 2 hours for this meeting. So Adi and Ryan, if you guys wouldn't mind going to the other side where the speaker is. Or take the mic, yeah.
Or you can use that one.
And if you wouldn't mind facing the board, I know there's folks back there. We'll take pictures in 1 second. But if you guys wouldn't mind just turning around so we could see you, and then we'll take pictures for the folks in the audience. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Okay. You're up close, aren't you?
Behind them, so that way you'll be on camera.
If you'd like to sit up here, you can do that too.
You're on TV back there.
Right. Yeah.
Up here, you're not on TV.
And why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us about what you've been able to achieve for the 10th year in a row?
Yeah, sure. I'm Ryan Jankelowitz. I'm one of the co-presidents of Rochelle Zell Model United Nations. And thank you to the Board of Trustees for having us here yet again. It's always an honor to have to be honored here. This team worked super, super hard throughout this year, writing 10-page position papers on various issues that are affecting millions, if not billions, of people around the world. And they brought those efforts and they brought that passion for those issues with them to the National High School Model United Nations Conference in New York City. And they were able to work with people from around the world to help fix those issues.
Besides bringing home some hardware with us too, just within the classroom and throughout the year, we really place an emphasis on collaboration with one another and also intergrade bonding. This is one of the only teams and clubs in the school where you will have members from every single grade on the team. So it's a really unique space where you get to engage with people you wouldn't really normally engage with.
Wonderful. So why don't you hand the mic all the way to the end, and we'll work our way from my left all the way to the right. Introduce yourself, your grade, and maybe what you talked about.
So I'm Logan. I'm a junior, and this year I talked about education in conflict zones, which is like education in areas where there's war or there's an inability to go to school.
My name is Shachar. I was in the Human Settlements Program, and we work to improve women's safety in urban areas.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
I'm Olivia. I was on the United Nations Security Council, and I'm a senior, and we discussed the worldwide rise of authoritarianism.
I'm Daniel. My topic isn't really modern day applicable. I was on the historical crisis for the CCP Politburo in 1969 with the Zhenbao Island crisis.
Whoa.
Yeah.
My name is Tal Nakamowski. I'm in 9th grade, and my topic was combating narcotic drugs in South and Southeast Asia.
Hello, my name is Mitchell. I'm in 12th grade. I was on the United Nations Security Council discussing the crisis in Sudan.
Hi, I'm Adi. I was on the Human Rights Council, and we addressed the situation in Nicaragua.
Again, I'm Ryan. I was on the South Korean National Security Council dealing with threats to East Asian security.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm a sophomore, and I discussed the impact of the death penalty on human rights.
Hi, I'm Liana, and I talked about the healthcare situation in prisons.
And where?
The healthcare situation in prisons.
Prisons, okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Addison, and I'm in 10th grade, and I was on UNESCO, the United Nations Education, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, and I talked about preserving education in conflict zones.
Hi, I'm Ella. I'm in 9th grade. I was on the Commission on the Status of Women, and we discussed the feminization of poverty.
I'm Shira. I'm in 9th grade, and I was on the World Health Assembly, and we discussed strengthening the healthcare workforce worldwide.
I'm Asher. I'm in 10th grade. I was on the United Nations Human Settlements Program, and I discussed creating safer urban spaces for women.
Hello, my name is Ronan Owsley. I'm a sophomore, and in my committee, we discussed improving labor standards in the global economy.
I'm Amitai. I'm in 10th grade. I was on the World Health Assembly, and I discussed with Shira assistive health technology in developing nations.
I'm Daisy. I'm a freshman. I was on the Convention for Migratory Species, and we talked about preserving the Pacific sharks.
Daisy, what about your coach? Is your coach here?
My No,
coach.
My coach?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
the
coach.
Oh.
Yes.
Why don't we bring the coaches up?
Yeah, they're up here.
They get a turn, too.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Paradiso. I am a second-year faculty advisor. And one of my favorite parts about Model United Nations at Rochelle Jewish High School is that while we have 2 presidents per year, we have 26 leaders on the team, which is amazing to see the leadership and mentorship and learning and collaboration go on every year. It's amazing.
I'm Dr. Robinson. It's my first year at this school, my first year on the team. And my favorite part about being on Model UN is that they do all the work. And we sit and we watch it beautifully happen.
We are so proud of you.
Yeah, we are.
It's amazing, your achievements. You guys obviously are extraordinary, and your talents and your intelligence and what you've been able to accomplish. I feel good. I know we all feel good that our future is bright with you guys. And you're welcome to come back here each and every year that you win. The only problem that we have is we're running out of room, so we're going to have to find another street or another tree or another post or another something, because we have 9 signs, and now here's our 10th. Let me come down and present it to you.
So do you have new people who are eager to join the team as you lose your seniors? Yeah.
How many teams did you compete against?
I don't know the exact number of schools, but I know there are about 5,000 other students.
Oh my God.
Wow. Yeah.
So how many kids are in the team?
It's usually around this size. Some are a bit smaller, some a bit bigger. Yeah.
Unbelievable. David, what do you want?
Let's have you just move your way down. We'll get a lot of them.
We want to do one of these.
All right. Say world peace.
You can't see the girls.
All right, we're set.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations.
This will be at our.
That goes with them.
This will not be at our. This will be with you.
Parking lot.
There you go.
Right. The last time I gave a sign away, they said keep it.
So do you, those of you who are graduating, you think you'll have as much fun in college as you did with this?
Or work as hard.
We'll hope. We'll hope.
We'll find out soon.
Where are you all going? The seniors who are graduating. Tell me where you're going next year.
I'm going to the University of Pennsylvania.
Ah.
I'm going to Vanderbilt University.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to Tufts University.
And I'm going to Duke University.
Wow.
They are all better
Wow.
for that. And congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
When you were on Modeling Women with my daughter, no signs.
We're going to make you one, Ben.
No signs. Nothing.
Wait, you're one of these people? Wow.
He was on the team. He was my daughter's partner.
And were you a winner?
No signs.
It's in the mail.
You know, the person who started this program at Rochelle Zell was a friend of mine who used to teach at Highland Park High School. And then she went there and she's all
Every single one is. The one who's going to Duke should make as much money as my grandson is.
That's a hard act. That's a hard act to follow. But we do have other business. The next order of business on our agenda is a proclamation for Arbor Day. Do I have a motion to accept the proclamation?
So moved.
Second?
Roll call.
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone?
Yes.
Trustee Jacoby?
Yes.
Trustee Metz-Childers?
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Yes.
We now, the motion passes. Next is a proclamation of National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. I'm going to read this proclamation, and then I'm going to present it to Kylie Busher. Whereas thousands of Americans dial 911 for help in emergencies every day, and whereas the men and the women who answer these calls for help can often make a difference between life and death for persons in need, and whereas our 911 telecommunications are among more than 500,000 telecommunications specialists who work to protect and promote public safety, and whereas Deerfield Public Safety telecommunicators are more than calm and reassuring voices at the other end of the phone. They are knowledgeable and highly trained individuals who work closely with other police, fire, and medical personnel. Because emergencies can strike at any time, we rely on the vigilance and the preparedness of these individuals 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And whereas our village enjoys the highest standards of public health and safety, and we owe great debt to the men and women who, by applying their expertise in telecommunications, help to make that achievement possible. During this special observance, we acknowledge the debt and extend the heartfelt thanks to each of them. Now, therefore, I, Daniel Shapiro, Mayor of the Village of Deerfield, do hereby proclaim the week of April 24th through the 20th, 2024, as National Telecommunicators Week in Deerfield in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our village and its citizens safe. Proclaim this 15th day of April 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the proclamation?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone?
Yes.
Trustee Jacoby?
Yes.
Trustee Metz-Childers?
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Yes.
Trustee Benton?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Kylie, I'm going to present this to you, and we'll take a picture, and then if you want to say a couple things. That's all right.
Eden's friend.
Oh, nice.
I've known her since she's 4.
Over here?
Yeah.
You want to get in the picture?
Yeah, I feel like I should.
You should.
Well, I want to say thank you for all of those wonderful, moving words. As one of the newest members of the department, I would love to give a big thanks for this proclamation from me and my fellow colleagues. We'd like to thank you for your continuous support day in and day out. So, thank you guys so much.
You guys are lifesavers, and we
Yeah.
appreciate all
Literally.
of your hard work. Yes, literally.
Well, we appreciate all that
Your
you guys
job
do
does
for
not
us.
go unnoticed.
Thank you. We all appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie, for being here representing your team. Thank you.
Now it's time to get back to work.
Minutes of the previous meeting.
Move approval.
Second?
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Bills and payroll. Is there a
Move
motion?
approval.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Trustee Goldstone?
Yes.
Trustee Jacoby?
Yes.
Trustee Metz-Childers?
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Yes.
Trustee Benton?
Yes.
And Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Now is the time of our meeting where we offer the public an opportunity to make a comment on a non-agenda item. It doesn't look like anyone is here for that, nor do we have anyone signed up. Moving on to reports, consent agenda. There are 2 items on our consent agenda. I will read them and then ask for a motion to approve. Item 2443-1, an ordinance authorizing a special use amendment to permit the establishment of a maintenance building for Deerfield School District 109 at Caruso Middle School, located at 1801 Montgomery Road in the P1 Public Lands District. And item 2449, a resolution approving a memorandum of understanding with National Insurance Crime Bureau for access to insurance claim information. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move approval.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Jacoby?
Yes.
Trustee Metz-Childers?
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Yes.
Trustee Benton?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Can I ask a question? Of course. The memorandum of understanding. I had a couple of questions. Is that inappropriate to ask them now?
No. No.
This is different than anything that I remember seeing coming across the desk for a while. And my question is this: who initiated this? Did this company say it was their idea that we should be in their database, or did we suggest to them that they couldn't service us with their staff giving us answers to our questions as they have all these years?
We have been using this system for the last 30 years.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I guess to answer your question, yes, all of a sudden the National Insurance Crime Bureau came and they're requesting MOUs with all departments that they're working with.
Okay, so
it's not just us specifically.
Okay, and this was initiated by
Them.
the Bureau
Yes.
itself. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay.
Okay, good. All right. Moving on to new business, item 2447, a resolution approving Deerfield Road Pumping Station Generator and MCC Project Assistance Agreement. Brandon, there you are.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Deerfield Road Pumping Station was constructed in 1989 and was designed to pump wastewater to the WRF as well as the pump stations and treat excess flow, as you all well know. This station protects dozens of homes from sewer backups, and due to the critical nature of the facility, it's equipped with an on-site emergency generator. The emergency generator is diesel and somewhat of a nuisance to the neighbors and has also been hard to find replacement parts in the past few years. The motor control center, which is basically the really big circuit breaker that's in the same room, is in desperate need of replacement as well due to its corroded condition and availability of parts. In an effort to address these issues, the Public Works Department included planning and design engineering work for 2024 in the capital budget. The department requested a statement of qualifications and interviewed several qualified professional firms. Of the firms interviewed, Ciorba Group appeared to be the most qualified for the project. Ciorba is a full-service civil and municipal engineering firm, which has a solid working relationship with the village due to previous transportation projects. They have and are currently providing these exact services for multiple communities throughout the Chicagoland area. Ciorba has also assured us of their staffing capabilities to complete this project in a timely manner. Ciorba was selected to develop a preliminary design report and design engineering for the project. The preliminary design report will be used to determine the scope of the project, as there are many design considerations that require investigation prior to moving forward with the project. The Department of Public Works and Engineering requests authorization to award the contract for the Deerfield Road Pump Station Generator and MCC project to Ciorba Group in the amount of $46,946. If this isn't perfectly clear, the preliminary design report is what we're voting on today, and that will determine what we do design engineering wise. So then at that time we will come back with, based on their recommendations and different options, we'll be able to show you all what we think is the best option, and then we'll ask for a design engineering contract at that time.
How long will it take them to complete their preliminary design work?
They are, I believe, scheduled for early August to be completed with that portion. So maybe we'd come together at that time and ask you to move forward and then do some of the work in 2024 and then some of the design work in 2025, but we don't know how extensive the project will be at this point.
That's what I was thinking too, if we could get an idea, because that's where we're going to be thinking about budgets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so to get an idea from them through that preliminary work, our future monetary obligations and costs, so that we can budget for the years ahead.
And we've budgeted $100,000 so far for 2024, so we're well
Right.
under that.
Oh, no, we're
Plenty
under
of
that,
space,
but
yeah.
there's going to be other work to do after they complete this $47,000 project.
Sure.
What is the nuisance value right now of the diesel generator, the emergency generator? Is it noise or pollution or?
Well, it's mostly just the exhaust. So we've had first off, we have to run the generator on a weekly basis per our normal maintenance requirements. And we've had neighbors over the years complain about that there's diesel odors coming into their house. It just depends on the wind. So what we normally do is our staff will turn the generator on. If it's not super obvious that it's going to blow into people's backyards and blow into people's houses, we'll turn on the generator. We run it for 15 minutes. But if it starts to look like the exhaust goes up and then comes down in somebody's backyard, we turn it off right away. Mm-hmm. But by that point, the damage is already done, and we've upset our neighbors. So a few years ago, we raised the exhaust stack on the building. That helped reduce some of the complaints, but it did not eliminate them. So this is a way to alleviate that. We're looking at natural gas generators or something else, some other situation that would help us be a better neighbor for an ongoing issue. And the generator is so old.
So
as far as
Ciorba
generators go.
will take that into account when
Correct.
they design.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So we don't think that this is so obsolete it's going to be a real problem. We have some options that we can explore to fix this.
Sure. So there could be other exhaust issues or like a exhaust scrubber. These are all things that Ciorba is going to look at. The generator could also just be converted to a natural gas generator. But again, I don't have all the details.
No, that's, my concern would be that we bring them in and it's a Pandora's box and they open it up and say, we can't fix this.
Mm-hmm.
We have to start over and have a whole new facility. So we're not looking at that.
I don't think so.
Good.
That would be a very
expensive
painful project.
Yeah.
Is there a motion to accept the resolution?
Move approval.
Second.
Roll call.
Metz Childers?
Yes.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Yes.
Trustee Benton?
Yes.
Trustee Berg?
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone?
Yes.
And Trustee Jacoby?
Yes.
We have a motion passes.
That's good.
We have a quorum and the motion
Yes.
passes. Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Item 2448, resolution to waive bidding and to authorize the police department to enter into a contract with Hes Corp Construction Services for construction management services for the remodel of the police station patrol room area.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I'm here on behalf of the Police Department. We are seeking approval of a resolution that will allow the Police Department to enter into a contract for construction management services related to a remodeling or a refresh project of our existing patrol room, watch commander's office, and first floor hallway. As I speak a little bit more, I'll just refer to it as the patrol room rather than saying all those things again. So the police department, their current patrol room was last remodeled in excess of 20 years ago, and it serves as the primary work area for our patrol division and our watch commanders on a 24-hour, 7 days a week operation. It's sustained extensive wear and tear over those 20 years, obviously, from all the use. And we even had an exterior wall have some water damage that occurred several years ago that we've just kind of put off waiting for this project to occur. During the dispatch remodel in 2023, the patrol room was our temporary dispatch center last year. So for about 4 months, it was used extensively with additional work being done in there, things in the wall, stuff like that. After the decision was made to update the patrol room, the police department contacted Hes Corp Construction Services. to evaluate the current room and offer any recommendations to us. The village has a satisfactory relationship with HesCorp as they provided similar services during the renovation project 20 years ago and most recently last year during the successful dispatch remodel project. HesCorp was selected pursuant to the Local Government Professional Services Act based on their competence and qualifications, satisfactory relationship with the village, ability of personnel, past record and experience, and the willingness to meet the time requirements. The agreement, which was attached with HesCorp, has been reviewed by Village Corporate Counsel and approved. Pursuant to the agreement, HesCorp Construction Services will provide services including, but not limited to, bidding and selection of subcontractors, procurement services, and construction administration. The estimate provided is $110,440. The project was budgeted this year for $85,000 in the police department. The estimate coming in greater, I want to explain what occurred there. We extended the scope of work a little bit. In discussing the project, the initial plans were focused on just the patrol and watch commander's office. However, we decided to include the hallway outside of that leads out to that back door and our mailroom also. We felt that the additional cost to include this area and have the first floor area complete was advantageous when we considered the anticipated cost increases, which we've been told there will be about 14% next year for costs, supplies, labor. We also considered that the mobilization of the construction crews to bring them in again, the continuity of materials being used, the flooring, paint, all the different things to make sure that that's all consistent, and just the impact on the police department operations that would occur since it is a critical area that's constantly used. Only taking that area down one time would be extremely beneficial for us to not have to do it again in a short time later. In evaluating the $25,000 difference, we've continued to evaluate other revenue sources to offset the expense, and we're confident that we'll have additional money in our building and maintenance fund to minimize this. A variable in the project, as I previously mentioned, is that exterior wall that had the water damage. They believe they know the cause, and they believe they know what it's going to take to fix that, and that cost has been incorporated into the $110,000. Obviously, there's always that wild card. When they open up that portion of the wall, could be something changed, and we would address that obviously accordingly at that time. But they're pretty confident that they know what's occurred there and how to correct that. So in summary, and in accordance with the Village of Deerfield Purchasing Manual and Local Government Professional Services Selection Act, the Police Department is requesting the approval to accept this resolution to waive bidding and approve the contract with HesCorp Construction Services and allow the construction to move forward. Any questions?
One of the things you just said, Chris, was next year there's an anticipation that the cost would go up about 14, 15%. If that were true, the $80,000 budgeted project is 95.
At least, yeah.
Right?
Right.
So the difference between 95 and 110 is not that much given the work that we're doing.
Right.
The additional
Absolutely.
work that we're doing. So is there any questions?
Is this going to require extensive moving around of people while they're getting this work done? You just went through that with the telecommunications area.
Absolutely.
Have we planned for how this is going to work?
Yeah, we're actually going to relocate some of our computer workstations into the basement, into our roll call area. Fortunately, because we've become so much more able to do things remotely from our cars and those computers, we'll be able to do a lot of that work. So, and the impact, they're estimating about 2 weeks to do this. So, which we have full confidence in that based on what they did during the dispatch construction, which was amazing.
Yeah. 2
So
weeks
yes,
pretty
we're
fast.
confident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 weeks is fast.
Yes, it is absolutely.
That's
But they're
great.
very confident with that number. And they won't do the work until everything is on site, ready to go before
smart.
they, which is what they did with dispatch. They said, we don't want to
Right.
open a wall or do anything until everything's here. So they take it down, replace it, and move forward.
What, do you know yet? It says that a $15,000 grant from the state is pending. Does that come in? Are
We've heard different, variables on that. We've heard some people say that it may not get released by the state. We've heard some say they may push that till this next budget year, so it could be later in the year. We keep inquiring.
Is that just to us, or is that our share of a larger?
There's multiple agencies that have a specific $15,000 amount, identified in there, but right now they have not released that money. So we are inquiring about that because that was the money that we were going to anticipate putting towards this project.
Okay. So do we have a plan B if we aren't getting it? Or we're getting it, we just don't know if it's 24
We hope to get it. If we don't, we feel that we are confident that we're going to have some monies left over in our building and maintenance fund. Then if not, there is always that potential we could have to come at the end of the year for a small budget adjustment on that. We've spoke with finance that if that's a possibility or something that could occur, he's aware.
That's great.
Is there a motion to accept the resolution and waive bidding and authorize the department to enter into a contract for construction management services?
So
as
moved in that
reflected?
order.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Oppenheim.
Yes.
Trustee Benton.
Yes.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone.
Yes.
Trustee Jacoby.
Yes.
And Trustee Metz-Childers.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Item 2450, a resolution to purchase one 5-ton salt truck. Not a single, but one.
Thank you, Mayor. Should be able to buy more than one 5-ton truck with this amount of money.
Yeah.
At some point in time, we could. So we've been in front of the board before with this particular item. In December of 2021, we requested the purchase of the truck and that we would start the process. And that the process is been complicated over the last couple of years, and we all know reasons why that is. We've had some supply chain issues. But this type of truck in particular, there's kind of a two-step process for this. So what we have is we purchase the truck, and we take first they manufacture the chassis of the truck. The chassis of the truck is manufactured by Freightliner, and so Freightliner finds a build slot. They build the chassis, and they take the chassis and they deliver it to the spot where they're going to outfit it and do the custom work on it. At that point, we purchase the chassis. So when we requested the original purchase from the board, the $266,000, $87,000 of that included the chassis purchase.
So we currently own a truck skeleton.
Well, that's true. But so there's further. I can further explain the story. So the truck was delivered, and we purchased the truck in 2022, or the chassis, I should say, and that was delivered to Lindco, and they then waited for a build slot, and because the of supply chain issues, workmen's issues, they didn't have enough people to actually manufacture or do the outfitting, the custom outfitting on the truck. So when they finally have the ability to do that, they put the truck into a build slot. So that goes into the garage and they start doing the custom work on it. That's what they've been doing for the last 12 months or so. Okay, so and then procuring the equipment and the material and everything to do this, to build, to customize the truck is kind of what's been happening over the last 12 months. The customization portion of it, which is done by Lindco Equipment Sales, is $220,000, and that includes the dump body, the spreading equipment for salt spreading, the plows, the electronics, and everything that goes into the truck. So that's really what we're talking about here tonight is the 220,602 through Lindco Equipment Sales. This truck is truck number 806, and it's a 2010. So it's 14 years old, which is a lot older than most of the trucks that we're pushing right now. In fact, it's the oldest truck that we have, and we have 3 others that are just like it that are the lead salt trucks. So when we say that we have lead salt trucks, there's 4 lead salt trucks, and those 4 trucks go out in advance of a snowstorm. They go out when we're just getting the little spitting rain that's starting to freeze on the pavement, and those trucks are the big trucks that are salting everything before everything freezes over. Those additional 3 salt trucks are also around the same era, say 2012. So I mentioned to the board earlier this year or late last year when we had discussions about the budget that I'd be bringing, whenever these chassis become available, that I would be wanting to grab onto them and bring this to the village board's attention, that we'd want to make that purchase of those chassis right away. That hasn't happened yet. But this is what to expect, and this is the process that we would expect. And so this truck that we purchased in 2021 is now ready, and if we find additional chassis for the other 3 salt trucks that we are wanting to purchase, then I would grab those, and we think those will be ready in 2026. At that time, the existing fleet, the additional 3, would be 15-ish to 16 years old. So it's getting up there and getting to the point where we won't have, if we don't pursue these trucks diligently in the purchase of them, that we won't have something in the fleet to do the job that we have to do. We can put them together and keep them on the road, but they're starting to get more and more expensive to keep on the road, and this is a prime example of that. So with that, we have budgeted $201,821. That's the amount of money that we've put away into the VERF account. And so it's $18,000 over that purchase, and I know that we can do that administratively through the village manager, that he has the authority to make the additional $25,000 purchase. But I wanted to bring this to the village board's attention, that the price of these trucks is going up. The price is subject to change until we actually receive them, and that not only that, but the exorbitant cost of the trucks and what this fleet is costing us to run. So the trade-in value on this truck is $7,500.
What?
$7,500
is all we get for the truck.
Actual
parts. Yeah, but it's 14 years old.
It's not. It is 14 years old. We maintain our equipment really well. It's kind of a joke that we don't get more money for them. The smaller trucks, we do get, we get a good trade-in value on smaller trucks, 1 tons and less, but $7,500 is the trade-in value. So the overall value of the truck with the trade-in is $299,546, and we have budgeted. We've already purchased the chassis, and we budgeted $201,821, leaving a balance of $220,602 to Linco Equipment Sales for the customization. The truck is ready for us to pick up.
Kind of an obvious question, but is this internal combustion, diesel, or electric, the new one?
It's a diesel truck. Diesel, yes. Okay. They do not make electric 5-ton trucks yet. They do make them, but they're not rolling them out. And I don't think we'd want to be the guinea pig on that.
I can't imagine what those cost.
Would this vehicle have other uses other than plowing and salting?
So none of our trucks are a one-trick pony. So everything that we have is utilized throughout the year. These trucks are outfitted for the summer. This particular truck, has some additional. I would say it's customized for us to do different processes with it. So we do have a hook on this truck. We can pull. We can purchase containers, so garbage containers, et cetera, for some of our special events. Dump body, watering equipment. So there's a lot of versatility with this truck, and with the other 3 that are in the fleet. They don't sit. They're out on the street doing work.
Bob, given the fact that we're getting such a low trade-in value on the trucks, and we're having some concern about availability as we're looking for the new chassis and the new finished trucks, do you think maybe in the future we may want to think about not even trading some of them in to have backup?
Yes, so we have done that. The last 5-ton truck that we bought, we actually kept the backup one, and we're using that. We know that it has a limited lifespan on it. We don't plan on putting a lot of money into it.
Right.
This particular one, I did ask that question of the garage foreman. It's really in bad shape, and so we're not going to keep it. But the other 3 that we have that we're planning to replace, I'll be asking that question of the garage foreman. Yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions?
I have a question.
Hurry up and buy it.
Yeah.
If you want to go over tonight, I'll go with you, and we can drive it back.
I don't think anybody else wants a truck in doe-skin tan, so I think we're safe.
There's no way to lock in the pricing if it takes 3 years to build them. I just was blown away by that.
No, so unfortunately, with trucks of this ilk, the larger equipment, they don't lock the price in. In fact, when you sign a contract, there's a price, there's a price adjustment in the contract. Yeah.
Wow.
Smaller trucks are a different thing. The 1 ton and 3/4 ton or half ton pickup trucks, your average pickup trucks and other trucks that you see driving around the village that we own. Those are, the prices are pretty, they're more than we've paid in the past, but the prices are pretty solid. They're not fluctuating between the time we purchase and pick up. So.
One of the most important things we do for our residents is clear the roads and keep them passable in the winter. And so they have us over a barrel, and they know it, and this is what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But our residents also compliment us for keeping the roads as clean as we
Absolutely. It's one of the most important services we provide.
You definitely notice the difference between
I don't
town.
think we can stop it anytime soon.
Nope.
And more than one person that I talked to every winter said, I know we're in Deerfield because all of a sudden the streets are clean.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
With our 14-year-old truck.
Imagine what's
We're making do.
now.
We're making do.
Would this truck spread that liquid melter?
So it does. So it does have the ability to do liquid. In fact, it has tanks and everything built into it. So the tanks are built into the spreading equipment, so that the rock salt is treated before it hits the ground. Yep.
I like the fact that you included the itemization in our packet, and we got to see how each and every item that is on that truck is costed.
Yeah, it's crazy how I like how they break it out, but it is obviously it's getting. I'm not quite old enough to remember a 50-cent cheeseburger, but it's.
No one in this room is.
Yeah.
With that, I would request that the village board approve the purchase from Linco Equipment Sales in the amount of $220,602. We are requesting to waive the competitive bidding process as we did in 2021. Once again, we're going through this process again, but I think our group wanted to be transparent and do this again.
Move approval.
Second.
And just so that we're clear, that motion is to waive competitive bidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roll call.
Trustee Benton.
Yes.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Goldstone.
Yes.
Trustee Jacoby.
Yes.
Trustee Metz-Childers.
Yes.
And Trustee Oppenheim.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Now go out and start looking for the next one.
Items for discussion by the mayor and board of trustees. There are a number of items I would like to mention. Last week, staff and I had a Zoom call with Cook County Commissioner Britton. We talked about the Lake Cook TIF, the future of perhaps a supportive living facility at 1101, 1121 Lake Cook Road, and the condition of the pavement at Wilmont and Lake Cook. Bob and I talked to DOT, Cook County DOT, just 3 years ago about that, and nothing has been done. So we're hoping that we can get the ear of Commissioner Britton to help us with that. I'm meeting with Congressman Brad Schneider this Friday to talk about stuff. On April 16th is the Deerfield High School Genocide Commemoration. For any of those who want to go for part or all of the day, please reach out to David. He's got the schedule of all the events. On the 23rd, we have a groundbreaking ceremony at Zion Woods at 2:30. If you can make it, please go. This has been a project long in the making. It will be good to have this groundbreaking ceremony. The 25th is Shake Shack, a ribbon cutting at 10 o'clock. I don't know if they're serving burgers that early, but maybe later in the day, that day. So that's also going to be fun. And on the 25th is the Arbor Day tree planting at South Park at 1 o'clock. So all these things are happening or just happened in the next week or so, some good things. On a personal note, we've had a couple of times over the last 60 days or so where this board has rallied to support both me, my family, Kent, his family, and Bill Seiden, or formerly Bill Seiden and his family. And it just speaks so highly of what we as a board are all about and the support we give to one another. And I truly appreciate that. And I know Kent and the Seiden family does as well. Trustees, anything? All right. Do you got anything?
Nothing to add.
All right. I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.